Welcome to Jets Guru, Jets Contact with Daniel Smith every Wednesday night as usual. Welcome to Jets Guru, Jets Contact with Daniel Smith every Wednesday night as usual. Welcome to Jets Guru, Jets Contact with Daniel Smith every Wednesday night as usual. Welcome to Jets Guru, Jets Contact with Daniel Smith every Wednesday night as usual. Welcome to Jets Guru, Jets Contact with Daniel Smith every Wednesday night as usual. Welcome to Jets Guru, Jets Contact with Daniel Smith every Wednesday night as usual.
This is Daniel Smith from Jets Guru. Welcome to the show. All gas, no brakes. Let's go, Jets. Woo!
Weep not for roads untraveled. Weep not for paths left alone. 'Cause beyond every bend is a long blinding end. It's the worst kind of pain I've known. Give up your heart left broken and let that mistake pass on. 'Cause the love that you lost wasn't worth what it cost, and in time you'll be glad it's gone.
What's going on, Jets Nation? CJ the Painkiller D. Simone here, and you are watching Jets Guru. Now, give it up for your host, Mr. Daniel Smith!
Ladies and gents, Jet Nation, welcome to another great episode of Jets Guru, and I am not Daniel Smith. Neither am
I. I know there's a resemblance there, but definitely not me. But I'm filling in for the Guru, hopefully just for a little while. See if he can join very soon. But if not, do what we can.
Right now, our fantastic host is gone like Robert Saleh, not permanently, so the show had to go on. So we're here. We're excited to do this talk a little Jets football and other things, and get it rolling. So with that being said, welcome to the show, and let's go. So first topic we got, the big the biggest topic going to Jets Nation is Robert Saleh getting fired. And listen, man.
What a shame.
Yeah. So first and foremost, let me just say that I did like Robert Saleh. I do like Robert Saleh. I think as a motivator, as a guy who can get the troops rallied, I think he's, one of the best at it. He's a hell of a defensive coordinator. But some people are just made to be coordinators. And this might be the case. We've seen the same song and dance the last 3 years, 4 years or whatever. And at this point, nothing changed. And we see what the result was. I know some people hate it. Some people love it. I'm indifferent either way. I personally think Hackett should have been the first one out the door. As well as Keith Carter, the offensive line coach. So that was, my main take on it. Also the fact that, he ran it like a, quote unquote CEO, letting people do their thing. And I think that's his biggest downfall, man. Sometimes you can't be a friend, you can't be a buddy. You got to be the head coach. You got to be that guy and put that foot in everybody's ass. And he just didn't do it, and it cost him in the end.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the same boat for the most part. I expected Carter to be gone this offseason. Yep. I don't understand why he's back. Saleh was a big supporter of the hire, and I thought he was gonna, hopefully grow into a great coach. It just didn't happen. And just watching watching the last couple of games has just been dreadful. So I can't knock the decision, but yeah, it hits hard and it hurts. So, but here we are.
Yeah, and the biggest thing, Scott Cleesby in the comments said he also coached the team that had the most penalties during that time. That's where I was going with this next. So the biggest thing, the biggest problem is the the two uns. They were undisciplined and unprepared way too many games. You can't lose to a quarterback who throws zero touchdowns, with kid in Denver. You can't be off for 10 days and flop tremendously against, Minnesota like they did. You have multiple penalties. You have like just coming out flat as a 3-day old open Coke, you know, game after game, and you say the same coach speak game after game. The fans are tired of it. The players are tired of it, and it happened. Like I said, I didn't expect it. I mean, everybody knew this year was win or bust, so I didn't expect it to happen like this, but it did. And Jeff Ulbrich, he's the guy now. The rumor has it that Saleh was demoting Hackett. Um, and for Todd Downing. And I'm hoping I'm hoping against all hope that this is still the case. Because what we've been seeing, this vanilla bluebell ice cream offense just ain't getting it, man.
Yeah, I mean, watching Hackett's offense has just been brutal. I know it was Zach Wilson last year, but you've got to be able to do something with the talent you have. Zach
Right.
Wilson does a couple of things well, yet he was not asked to do those things well last year. He was asked to be a pocket quarterback, make plays that we all knew he couldn't make. Just didn't work. I wanted to see him succeed this year. Aaron Rodgers, everyone was excited. Bring
Yeah.
in a legend. Saleh was going to get his shot, his one legitimate shot at a real quarterback, real offense. It just hasn't worked out so far. So it's been and just to add what you were saying before, losing to a quarterback that doesn't throw any touchdowns. Same thing. Sam Darnold, no touchdowns, one pick.
Right.
Still couldn't beat him.
Right.
It's just it really does take me back to last year and just the pain of watching this offense.
Exactly. Like your defense gives up 10 points to Denver and you lose. Your defense gives up uh 7 points to that offense, that high powered offense, and you lose. So it is what it is, man. I moving forward, I hope the uprising of Ulbrich galvanizes the team. I hope it brings them closer. I hope they can come together and salvage this and turn this thing around. If not, we'll be back to square one because everybody in the front office will be gone. Aaron
Mhm.
more than likely be gone. Uh, but we still got some hellified talent there. And if that's the case, then I hope they come with an offensive coach. So
So
we
here's the question I've got for you, Tyrus. What changes now that Saleh is gone? The offense is obviously the problem. We're putting a defensive coordinator in charge of the offense. What are we getting? Why should we expect that things are going to change? So you mentioned the possibility of Hackett getting demoted. Are we talking
right.
Todd Downing calling the plays?
Yeah. I think so if I'm Jeff, I got Todd Downing and I'm calling any offensive guy right now to come in and consult, to help me out, watch my six, help me navigate this thing as a defensive guy, right? The good part is, and it is like with Antonio in Vegas, the guys love him. Like the locker room loves Ulbrich. Both sides of the ball, they respect him. So you don't lose that piece, right? So the big problem is the offense. So hopefully, again, Downing comes in, uh, comes with something different, so comes with something better. Cause I mean I feel like Hackett is so he should have been fired last year when he said he didn't know what he had with Brees. Like when he said that should have been it. Uh So I feel like he still doesn't know. He doesn't know what he have in Braylon because he hadn't been touching the ball when he should. Doesn't know what he has in Corley. Like you see the text message between Saleh and JD. No matter what, and they're not playing him no matter what. So that has to change. I mean, it's a lot of little things, man, that hopefully can be changed. One of them is more discipline. Uh, Stupid penalties are gone, things like that. You know, so we'll just have to see, man.
I think it all starts in practice. Does
Yes,
Ulbrich come out there and really just drop hammers in practice? Like
yeah,
there's no excuse for all these penalties. False starts, delay a game over and over again. It's just been unorganized. It's been a mess. I remember in the offseason, there was an article about Downing potentially helping to call plays this season, or have kind of a committee system.
right,
And I was excited for that. I was like, anything, give me anything. Don't give me
right.
Hackett again. I don't want to see the same thing this season. Um, so I think you mix it up in any way, and I feel like you can't get much worse than what we've seen the last 2 weeks.
Right. It's only up, man. Hey, JR, put that comment from Simon back up real quick. Simon Baccarella, hope I said it right. He said, I think they should have waited to see what happened against Buffalo. Sorry, but the loss is on AR, Lazard, and a few others. And that I agree with. The loss was definitely on AR. The loss was definitely on Lazard. Like his drops led to big plays on both sides every single time. The loss is on a lot of people. But at the end of the day, it's all solace, right?
Yeah.
And somebody had to take the fall. Should have been Hackett again, but here we are.
And that's one of the things. It's even as good as the defense has been, there's still a lot of undisciplined play. Like Sauce got called like 3 times in a row for holding.
Right.
Like, is nobody working with him on this? Like, this has been something they've been talking about Sauce since they drafted him.
Yeah.
When it's constantly everything, the offense, the defense, you name it, it all falls on the head coach at the end of the day.
Yeah. I will say though, it was some bad calls there. It was. But I'm not gonna hang the loss on that because even with those bad calls, they were still right there at the end. They
That
was,
is true.
So
I think
I'm not.
those losses hurt the most when you're
Yeah,
there all game long, hanging in there. Defense is giving you everything they've got, and you just can't get it together. It just
yeah,
hurts so much.
yeah. So, thanks for the efforts, Coach Sala, and
Yeah.
I wish you all the best.
One more
Uh,
thing I just want to throw in there. I think the icing on the cake, that play call, 4th down,
yeah,
you got a chance to put 3 points on the board.
yeah.
Instead, you go for it, and what do? You run it right up the middle, right into the
Mm-hmm.
heart of the defensive line, and you turn it over on downs. Right then and there, I said, if this
I
is the
think
time to fire this guy, this is it.
I think you might have said that in the
Here we
chat
are.
during the game.
I did.
In
Right
the
when he
group
did
chat.
it, I said,
Yeah.
this is nuts. He's going to get himself fired with that call, and here it is.
And here it is.
A lot of rumors swirling, lots of there's a lot ulterior motives here. His Lebanon patch on his arm is the reason. All kinds of things out there. Just people speculating. We'll probably get little pieces and bits of information week to week. Some things getting revealed, but I can't say that he
ultimately it just comes down to his performance and lack thereof.
Yep.
And that's it. All right, JR, what we got next? So, who's to blame? I mean, we kind of touched on it. At the end of the day, Saleh's to blame for it all. It's his team, his decisions at the end of the day. Hackett is the biggest culprit of the offense being terrible overall. A-Rod's definitely to blame for this loss we had against Minnesota. But as far as the firing, we see what it is. I don't want to hear anything about A-Rod got him fired. I don't want to hear anything about this Lebanese patch. For one, Woody is notoriously cheap as hell. He's not gonna pay millions because he's mad about a patch. Like I From what we know of him, I just don't see that being the case. Like that is
No.
anti Woody to give money away like that. Now he does stupid stuff with money with some of the contracts, but it's football related. But something like that, I just don't see it.
Not at all. I mean, like we said, it's what's his record? 20-36 or something like that.
37.
37.
Yeah.
It's just not good. It doesn't cut it. You've got this win now team ready to go. You've got one of the best quarterbacks in the history of the league behind center, and your offense is looking just as weak as a Zach Wilson offense.
Yes.
It's just inexcusable at this point. So you got to shake things up. Do I think it should have been Hackett, or at least Hackett plus Saleh? Yes.
Yeah. Like death, they say death come in threes. And in this case, firing should have came in threes. Saleh, Hackett, Carter.
Carter,
That's it.
big time.
All right. So up next, let's talk about the game a little bit, man. Jets got grounded. They flew all the way over there just to come back with an L. And it it really hurt me that they started off so slow, man. Like 17-0. I was like, man, it's over already. Like some people wanted to quit immediately, from watching the game when they went down that fast. And I mean, they looked completely out of sorts. Um, and it just didn't. It was just off from the beginning. You can't run the ball. And when you're running the ball, you're running the same tired dive. Like come on, man.
Especially with Brees, like that's not his strength. Like you're not sending him at defensive tackles to get 2 or 3 yards. You need to use Allen if you're going to run those kind of plays, but you've got to. Even then, the offensive line just wasn't doing anything. No push up front, no holes. Guys getting hit in the backfield as soon as they touch the ball, and it's
Yeah,
just all downhill from there.
yeah. Like you had no push from the offensive line. I watched Bald. I don't know if you watch it, but Baldy's breakdowns, like he
I do.
shows so many plays where the guards and the centers just missed assignments, or just got completely just flat out bullied in the trenches. We're running a stretch to the left, and he has to cut it back almost immediately to the right because they're getting
Mhm.
penetration, or linebackers coming in untouched while the center's just standing there. Like it was so many missed blocks and assignments, and that is what you have to fix. And that goes to Keith Carter being terrible at his job. And that
Yep.
goes back to Solid not getting rid of him for being terrible at his job after we've seen this song and dance for the last 2 or 3 years. Um, and Minnesota, they got a don't get me wrong, they got a solid, a good run defense. They're more susceptible to the pass, and with the blocking so bad with the run, it helped them out in the pass because they could just back up and drop 7 and just. I mean, it was very disappointing.
Not only that, it also frees them up if they want to send a blitz. They can mix it up.
Right.
Rodgers is getting hurt again, getting hit over and over again. Can't run the ball. You're just not going to win in this league. I know it's a passing league, but the two complement each other.
Right. Like not being able to run simple run plays takes away your ability to do play action completely. Like I can't remember a play action pass from that game that was worth anything. So it yes it is a passing league, and it's about exotic plays and all of that, but you have to master the basics in order to do those types of things, and
Mhm.
it just wasn't happening, and it's happened week after week after week. Um, even and then it goes back to when I said a couple weeks ago about personnel.
Mhm.
Brees isn't running well. Braylon is, but you don't go back to Braylon. Like the decision making is horrendous.
Yep.
Play calling is horrendous, and you
Yep.
get these types of outcomes. Now, I do applaud him for coming back that second half and showing a lot of fight and showing a lot of heart and gusto. Uh, but at the end they sabotage themselves a lot with drops, penalties, dumb decisions.
Yeah. Going back to the play calling and the game planning, I would love to ask Hackett. You're going up against two teams in the Broncos and the Vikings, two teams that are known for blitzing.
Right.
What is the one thing you can do with some really explosive running backs to help mitigate the blitz? You throw a screen pass, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of the simplest things you can do that can get you huge yards, soften up the defense, slow down their pass rush, make them a little more hesitant to blitz. And I just haven't seen it all season. I've seen maybe one or two.
Right.
So I just don't understand that. Like this is like NFL like 101. Like
Right. I totally agree, man. It's and that again, it goes back to having those 10 days. Like, what the hell did you do for 8 of those days?
hmm,
Go to Cancun? Like, because it definitely didn't show that you were preparing to play the Vikings. Now, again, the last two games, they played probably the two toughest defenses in the league with Minnesota and with Denver. They both get after the quarterback. I think they're 1-3, first and third in sacks. Very good pass defense. So it's like they didn't watch
and
film.
I think they're 1-2 in blitzing too. Blitz
Yeah,
rate.
yeah. I know Denver. No, I'm sorry. Minnesota was first in QB pressures and hits. Like, all of this stuff, yet you do nothing to mitigate it. You still trying to run the same, plays that you ran against New England, or that you ran, the first week. Like, it's disheartening for the fans, for one. And it was crazy. Like, we're in the messages, and when they get the ball back, we're talking back and forth. Like, now watch him run a dive to the left. You know, watch him shoot that run through the A gap with this simple handoff. Lo and
Mhm.
behold, there you go. So, if we as couch potatoes and fanatics can sit there and see this, what the hell do you think Brian Flores gonna do? Like, be for real.
Yep.
Be for real.
Pay
You
me
know,
millions. I'll mix up the play call a bit.
exactly. Like, use some imagination, man. Now the one thing, and I know the topic says just grounded. Uh, it was great seeing Garrett and A-Rod finally take off. Hopefully that continues moving forward. It was also great seeing Mike Williams play 50 snaps, I believe, this game. Hopefully that gets better. Uh, Lazard, I hate that he takes 3 steps forward and 6 steps back. You know, one week he looks like he's worth that 11 million, and the next week it looks like he's playing for the other team.
I think the only difference with Lazard this year to last year is now he's got a quarterback that likes throwing to him.
Yeah,
So he's getting
yeah,
more targets and good throws thrown to him, and he's dropping
yeah,
something like 6 drops, leading the NFL.
yeah.
It's kind of similar to last year. It's nuts.
It's ridiculous, and I'm hoping we get some news. Hey, they're activating Malachi Corley. You know, you might as well try out everything you got and try to use it. And like
Mhm.
this whole Corley situation, man, it's giving me that Denzel Mims
I knew you were going there. Yep.
vibe situation where
Mhm.
Saleh was like, he doesn't play special teams well. This and that. Um, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Mims is this world beat or anything like that. But if the guy only runs the 9 route well, put his ass out there and let him outrun everybody. We saw it with Robbie Anderson. Remember that year Robbie had the 1,000 yards with Josh McCown? They ran the
Yep.
9 like crazy.
Just let him run.
Just let him run.
Let him do what he does and throw it up there.
And Denzel had, at Baylor, he had a crazy range as far as like high pointing the ball. I mean, he's 6'3", 6'4", whatever it is. Didn't use it. So I'm hoping that's not the case with Malachi, man. Get him out there. You call him Baby Debo. He's a yak
I'm
monster. Let him do it.
I'm hoping it's more of just he's kind of buried on the depth chart. They've got Lazard, who's a Rodgers favorite. They've obviously got Garrett, who's not going anywhere. He's going to be in pretty much every play, and they've got Mike Williams, who's an awesome weapon. So I don't know if Lazard continues dropping the ball and killing drives like this. Do you give Corley a shot? Do you maybe
Yes.
mix him in a little more?
Yes.
I would.
I mean, you got Xavier Gibson out there. You know, like put some of your shiftier guys. Okay, if I'm down and this is what I'm doing, I'm putting Garrett Wilson in the slot. I'm putting my height on the outside. You got two guys who's 6'4" with Williams and Lazar. Lazar is 6'5". I am putting them on the outside. I am putting Wilson in the slot. I am putting Conklin in the slot, to run the seams and be a nightmare for the linebackers. And see what it gets us. Like, come on. Use your people. Use your personnel. Another take from this game, they need to get Sauce a jugs machine. Help him to catch the damn ball. Like, think about that. He dropped a interception that would have kept them from scoring that touchdown. Hit him right in the hands.
Right in his lap. Right in his lap. I mean,
Like,
it's like, don't they practice the tip drill? Like,
yeah. Like, hey, listen, Sauce. You can put your hands on receivers all the time, but you can't put your hands on the ball.
mm-hmm.
Like, get it together. Come on. You talk that talk. You got to walk that walk.
Yeah.
The back-to-back all pros and all of that is great. Don't get me wrong. I love it. I respect it. But this is a what have you done for me lately? And lately you ain't done jack.
Yeah, after his rookie season, I thought, the interceptions will follow. It's just a matter of him finding the ball a little earlier. The coverage is obviously there. The length is there. He can reach the ball, and on almost every occasion,
Yes.
he'll eventually start picking the ball off. And it just hasn't happened. He just, I think you don't see as many targets against him is one of the things. But you got these easy gimme interceptions. You got to take those all day long. You've got guys like Eccles out there making crazy plays on the ball, coming off the bench. So it's one thing he can improve in his game.
Speaking of which, I wish JD and company get Eccles and retain Eccles and retain Jamie and Sherwood. They both been showing up every game they played, and that's what you need. Reward your guys you brought in, keep them in the house, keep developing them, and but yeah, I agree, man. Sauce has got to get better. And Simon Baccarella said people need to stop comparing him to Reeves. I never understood that. I never understood that comparison. Like, Darrell was something different, way different. And don't get me wrong. Like I said, Sauce does his thing, but Darrell was shutting down all-time greats.
And he was doing it one-on-one on an island, Revis Island. No help, no zone scheme, nothing.
Like, we had Revis Island, we won't have Sauce's safe zone. We not getting that. But to be fair, Justin Jefferson makes everybody look foolish. So, but all in all, man, they fought back, which was good, but they got to come out better than what we saw.
Maybe an unpopular take, but I think DJ Reed has been probably the better of the two this season. Reed has been he's really come on strong lately.
Contract year.
That's it, and they're going to have some tough decisions to make. And I think Reed is probably one of the guys they're not going to be able to re-sign. They're going to have
they won't be able to afford
tough
him,
choices.
Man. At what he's doing right now, DJ Reed will be a top 5 paid cornerback. That's the nature of the business.
They're going to have to spend it on Sauce. It is what it is.
All right, JR, what we got next? All right. So we got, before we break down the Jets versus Bills, I want to tell you my 4 keys to victory for the New York Jets. So the first key is they have to start off fast, right? Last week, the team was down 17-0 before we knew it. And this team has been a notoriously bad start first half team for Saleh's entire tenure. Um, so we need to start off Jeff's tenure with scoring some points immediately. Fun tip for you guys. Hackett's first 22 games as the OC of the Jets, the team has scored 1 touchdown, 2 field goals on opening drives. That's it. 22 whole games. So if the rumors that Downing is the play caller now are true, then I'm really hoping he can come up with something quick to change that. And how do you change that? Key number 2, run the damn ball effectively. In the last 2 games, not each game, but last 2 games total, the team has rushed for 100 yards. Pathetic. So they got to show up against this Bills defense that has given up 144 yards a game. I think they're 6th or 7th worst in the league. And they got to run the ball. They got to figure it out. Whatever they got to do to get it done, they need to do it. And hopefully they can and remove us from the bottom of the heap, because right now the Jets are dead last in rushing this season with 402 yards. Can't have that. Key number 3, you got to play clean football. Against Denver, the Jets had 13 penalties for 90 yards, I believe. Last week against the Vikings, they had 8 for 76, I believe. Now that number, is trending down. Hopefully, it's trending down this week. Hopefully, we have none. I know that's a pipe dream, but I hope if we do have penalties, they aren't drive killers or drive extenders for the Bills. So they have to play better. They have to play more disciplined. No neutral zone infractions. McDonald. No late hit infractions. Who's that? 72. His name always escapes me. No stupid finger gun infractions, Lazard. And speaking of that, a lot of people got mad that the league fined him. Even Lazard said he knew the league was going to fine him. So if you knew that, why the hell did you do it? But anyways, you have to play smart. You have to play disciplined. And you have to play correctly. So I hope they can do that. And finally, my 4th key, mix it up. Let's use some motion. Let's use some stack wide receivers. Let's see some bunch plays. Let's play with Braylon and Brees together. Let's activate Corley and try to get him into space to be the yak monster that he was in college. I don't care what it is. Just as long as we don't get the Saleh Hackett run pass special, I don't care what they do. But please, please, please mix it up. Now, if they do all 4 of those things, they will win handily. Hell, they'll win doing 3 of them. Anything less than that, they're pushing it. So, that being said, let's go.
Great points there. 2 of those things you said really pissed me off. One, remember our buddy Adam Gase?
Mm-hmm.
He was like one of the best coordinators or head coaches in the NFL on the first drive of the game. He was pretty much always scoring a touchdown, starting fast on offense. We've got the exact opposite here. We've got the slowest starting guy in the league, boring play calls, disorganized offense. It's awful.
Yeah.
The second thing was the damn finger guns, man. Don't get me started with the finger guns. That was just such terrible timing for such a stupid penalty.
Right. Like, again, they're shooting themselves in the foot, literally. So and they again that goes back to being unprepared. And they gotta fix that. So we got Jets versus Bills Monday Night Football, and I kind of hate the fact that it's a Monday night game because everybody will be watching. Everybody will be talking about this, so they really have to show up and show out, man. And I told you some of the things that they have to do to win. Defensive wise, they got to contain Josh Allen. I know that's easy for me to say sitting on the couch because he's 6'5", 2. He's like LeBron in pads. So I know it's easy for me to say it, but they got to contain him. They don't have the big play wide receiver that they had with Stephon Diggs, but they do have some weapons out there that they can use. I don't know if Shakir be playing this week. I can't remember, but they have the rookie from Florida State. You know the guy I'm talking about. Everybody loves him. Got him. They got James Cook. They got Dalton Kincaid. They got Curtis Samuel. They have weapons, and again, they have Josh Allen. Lucky for us, Von Miller won't be that disrupting the everything. So this team has a chance, man.
So I'm seeing that, if I'm seeing this right, Shakir and James Cook are both questionable. I don't know if they're going to be they're playing or not.
Probably Shakir, more than likely not, because he was hurt pretty bad last week. But I mean, this is a big game. Buffalo is on a 2-game losing streak. Jets on a 2-game losing streak, and this is for first place in the AFC East. And the Jets really need to rise to the occasion. Now, I'm not saying if they lose this game, the season is over, because the schedule does get easier. But this is one of those statement games that they can make and say, hey, regardless of what's going on, we got each other back. We still here. We're not going anywhere. And we're going to play for each other and for the fans. So I do think they can pull this off. Now, I'm not going to give you one of those Daniel Smith 41 to 17 type of things. In the comments, we got Solar Slim Gaming said Bills 27, Jets 17. I can see this being another close one, like a 23-20. I'm going to go Jets, 23-20.
I'm always going to go Jets, always, no matter who it is, no matter what the circumstances. Yeah, I'll say something like 27-20. I think it comes down to a final drive, something dramatic. And I think if we pull that out, how huge would that be for Ulbrich? We'll be saying Robert who?
Right.
Did we lose a coach? We'll be looking to the future.
So right now the Jets are averaging 18 points a game. So I'm really hoping against hope that the offense comes out there and puts up some numbers. We got Whiskey Demon in the comments said Jets 31-17 over. Like, that would be fantastic.
Hey, I'll take it.
That would be a statement. Like, okay, we see you. Of course, as fans, we'll say, well, let's see what you can do next week. But having something like that happen after you lose your coach, after all the rumors swirling and all this and that, if you come out, put 31 points up against the Bills and win, take first place in the East, that quiet some of the talk.
You know what? Why not now, right? This is a big shakeup here, so why not now? We want something different. This is our shot.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, man. So, I do agree, Whiskey. We have the tools, and these boys are going to play hard for Ulbrich. I do believe that. And I'm looking forward to seeing this game. It's gonna be close. Hopefully they don't come out flat. Hopefully they come out angry and ready to handle business, man. So with that being said, man, I do appreciate you guys rolling with us tonight. Like I said, our fearless leader, Daniel Smith, had some things and couldn't be here, but he will be here next week. You probably see him go live after the Monday night game, especially if we win. He's going to be cutting up. So, with that being said, on behalf of my guy, super producer JR in the background with the wonderful introductions, with the wonderful graphics and everything he does for the show, on behalf of my boy Vic, not Daniel Smith as you see on the screen, and myself, TK, Jets fans, we do appreciate you guys. We love you guys. We look forward to talking Jets football with you every week. So with that being said, let's go Jets.
Jet up.
See you.